All right, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the video. This is a recast of the Nomad tournament that that SoloGhost's put on. So this is a match between Ice2207, who's playing as the Wu, and then they're going up against SRKs Ragz, who is playing as the Chinese. Both, I think, really good civs. They're playing on Stranded. So I'm going to keep the Fog of War on for a minute here. I'll take it off for a second just to kind of see the whole map. So there's like this big circular kind of wood line in the middle. It's really hilly. There's a lot of animals that can kill you. There's also some hunt. It's kind of like important to take it. It's really difficult to build town centers here. You can build like castles and other things, but town centers you really can't. It's also totally surrounded by water, and there's a lot of fish. But you are pretty far away from your opponent. So as a result of that, it's not really a water map. It's much more of a land map, but maybe there's like a little bit of water play, you know, like just a little bit. Let's put the Fog of War back on for these crazy cats here. Chinese, one of the best civs in the game, just period. You start with extra villagers. You end up being ahead about 3 villagers, I believe it should be, like over time. But you generally take a hit like early, but in a Nomad it probably helps you because you can gather a little bit of food because you start with less food. They also do have a fire galley bonus, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry, fire ships. I mean, yeah, fire ships move faster, so they have a little bit of a water bonus. The big thing for me is their technologies are all discounted, and that's including like tech switches. So if you're going from like infantry to cavalry or something like that, you can switch really easily. Now the Wu, they have some interesting bonuses. They've got nerfed over time. You know, they're part of the Three Kingdoms DLC that was like last year, I guess now. But their main thing is their infantry regenerates HP, and their military buildings give food. So early on, they have like a pretty strong attack. They also get a water bonus. Careening and dry dock are free now. They used to be available at one age early, and then when they changed the water, the water play, like the water interactions between the different ships, they changed it. But for me, it's the early Jean Swordsman, and getting that castle timing down. Because the Jean Swordsmen are super high pierce armor. They're super strong in early Castle Age. The Wu take a little bit of a hit in Imperial Age. A lot of the new civs, for whatever reason, are good early, and then they kind of fall off once you get to like late Imperial. The Wu, they do have the upgraded attack on the Hei Wang cavalry. Hei Wang cavalries are really good, but I don't know. I don't know if they like Fire Lancers. I think are better. Like I'd rather have a discount on Fire Lancers, or Fire Lancers attack faster or something like that. But let's see what these guys have in store for us. These guys are pros. These guys are high elo. So Ragz is 1824 right now. They've been in like the 1900s though, and Ice is 1647. But Ice is much better than that. Ice is probably closer to like 1900 somewhere. I play with Ice all the time. He plays in the CCL, and he is a very solid player. In fact, Ice, if you're watching this, if you could play some more 1v1s, that'd be great, just to get your elo to where it should be, because you're like 1647, and that's like my level, okay? And you're way better than me, so, if you could just do that for me so that I don't have to give that little like, well, he's way better than that elo, that'd be great. Appreciate it. These guys haven't actually found each other yet. They're getting close though. But on this map, you just start basically across from your opponent every time. So it's really more important to find the map. Because you can't really build TCs in the middle, it's really important to find all of your gold. And if you notice, all the gold is kind of like tucked in real tight to the middle. Now in AoE 2, of course, you get hill bonuses. So you do more damage shooting down a hill, and you take less when someone's shooting up a hill at you. So because of that, you're, being on the bottom of a hill is a little bit dangerous, right? If you're getting trebbed from the top, it doesn't have to be just any elevation difference. It's not like, there's like, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Maybe 5. I'm not sure. 6 even. I'm not sure how high it goes. But if you're just, if you're on 0 and they're on 1, they're going to do more damage. So like down here is like a 1 or a 2, but down here is a 0. So you're always kind of going to take more damage. So this Ice Ragz was round 1, FYI, of this tournament. But I've been helping SoloGhost's cast some of these games that weren't, not that they weren't cast live, but I think that they were cast by like multiple people, and there's not a good record of it. You know what I mean? That's an interesting wall. It's like behind the house. Usually you build the house like touching there. But the other thing with this map is these tree lines. They actually last a decent while, but they do end up kind of going away. This is kind of a tricky map to wall. And this boar coming from way out down. And both on the way up to feudal age. 24 pop each. That's like a typical feudal age here. It's on Nomad maps in general, it's pretty easy to fast castle. I think we might actually see some feudal action though. I mean, Ice is sitting at only 50 gold. They don't have any on gold, so they're probably going to make some sort of unit here. I'm not sure what though. This is kind of an interesting start. They have 2 docks, which makes you think that they want to play water, but they're not on gold. And you need gold for anything. They're building a barracks. Yeah, Ice's timing is a little bit behind there. Ragz actually isn't really much better though. They looks like they're gonna try to fast castle. They have 2 on gold, 18 on food, so they should be able to fast castle. They should be able to click up pretty quickly. It looks like Ice wants to play water, though. Let's see what they make here. And now they just put them on gold. Not sure where they're taking their gold. Hold on. Oh, they're back in this side. Ah, clever. So this island is safer, but I mean, if you get fought off water, that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a real problem. You're going to have 4 villagers out there. But I've seen a lot of players play this map, and it's pretty common that they don't fight for water, like either team. I don't know why. I think making at least like 1 fire galley and just sending it over to the other side makes the most sense. And it looks like we're gonna have an archery range up from Ice here. We have Market Blacksmith, so definitely gonna be a fast castle from Ragz. They just clicked up to Castle Age, and they're adding a barracks. Chinese can go into anything. I think typically you expect them to go into archers, but archers against the high pierce armor Jean Swordsman is not going to go well. So they're adding a double barracks. So I like that. Jean Swordsman, if that's what Ice ends up going into, which doesn't look like it because they added an archery range. They're making archers. But Jean Swordsman are typically really good against archers. They have really high pierce armor, so you don't usually want to go archers, but they're pretty bad against like man-at-arms or infantry. And Ice does click up. I'm actually kind of surprised that they were able to get that timing off. I guess that they just had enough on fish. But only 5 fishing ships from Ice. It is 1 more than Ragz. And they are making some fires. Pretty tight base for Ice here. They must have planned this because taking gold back here is definitely the safer route. How much gold is here? So it's 1,200, so it's going to run out. And eventually you're going to have to move over here. But Archer's on the way for Ice. But yeah, pretty good timing for both of them. Ice is going to be about 30 seconds behind. Double barracks for Ragz, but they're not making anything out of it. I personally, I don't like that. I don't see why you want to make production buildings and then make nothing out of it. I guess they're waiting for Castle Age because we can't make Fire Lancers until then, so their strat's going to be Fire Lancers. Fire Lancers will do pretty well against most things. I'm just thinking, thinking in my mind right now, how well they're gonna do against archers. Archers should have the advantage on the fire lancers. Look at the fire lancer's stats. So they only have a 1 range. They have kind of like a single shot attack. I don't know if it shows the actual attack. Melee is 9. I think it all does 9. So like the gunpowder shot does 9. And then like their attack does 9 as well. I think that's how it works with them. But they're going forward with them. But the problem is that they don't have like much range, right? So they have to get in, and archers can sort of like out micro them. We do have some Jean swordsmen coming out too. I'm curious how the fire lancer Jean swordsman matchup goes. I've never really seen this, I don't think. Not like, I'm not never maybe, but just not super popular. The fire lancers have more attacks. They have 9 attack versus 8, 0 and 5 pierce armor, and these guys have 1 melee. So fire lancers, I mean, head on head will, they should be 65 HP versus 70, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, fire lancer head to head will beat a Jean sword, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, and fire lancers are here. I'll take the Fog of War off here. I don't think Ice, or Ragz for that matter, really scouted what their opponent was making before deciding what they were making. Chinese do have that fire lancer bonus. What was it? They shoot faster? Is that what I said? They move faster. And Jean swordsmen are pretty quick, so I think archers is going to be the answer. But he's going to need to get some upgrades. He's going to have to go into crossbow, like... He's going to have to figure it out. And then it's really easy for Ragz to just go into, like, skirmishers. Or rocket carts would do really well. Now, I kind of missed this, but the fire ships did come over here and take out not only the ship, but the docks, too. But heavy investment. 6 fire ships when your opponent didn't make any. Ragz kind of throwing these fire lancers away, though. Not ideal. It's not ideal to throw away fire lancers. I mean, I kind of am favoring Ice here. Also, what's the idle TC? 3 minutes of idle TC for Ragz, 2 minutes for Ice. Ice is on a second TC now as well, so like, build lead is heavily in favor of Ice right now. That includes all the fishing ships, of which they're getting a little less efficient, but they're not, not terrible. But I like what Ragz is doing. Staying on 1 TC and building the rocket cart, try to attack the TC from here. And you can see just how much damage this does, because it's shooting from an elevation, shooting from top to bottom. And Ice doesn't have a good answer for this at all. Like, Ice is going to have the eco lead for a while. But not forever. I like these forward houses. These are aggressive houses. Yeah, and Ice just does not have the military. Ice invested so much on the water. That's why on this map, I think you're better off making like 1 fire ship and then moving on. Another town center and a siege workshop. But I think Ragz is just going to stay on the attack here. These fire lancers are so strong, honestly. And Ice is going to get a castle up. Try to defend this. To be honest, I mean, there's really not a better spot for that castle to go that's, like, safe enough to get it up. But I would much rather have seen it, like, closer to here somehow. I don't think it would ever have gone up if you put it over here, so the position makes sense. These villagers for Ice are running somewhere. Where are they going? They're going to this stone, I think. But I think Ice is reading the situation pretty well. Ragz is on 1 TC, full aggression. So Ice is recognizing that they actually have the eco lead. They just need to kind of hold on to it a little bit. If you look at res collected, Ragz is actually up 700 res collected. Which is pretty wild when you think about it. And that probably is just villager efficiency. Yeah, look at workers last minute, it's 60% to 45%, so. And Ragz found this siege workshop. Ice probably could have put this in the back, maybe. This siege workshop's just not gonna go anywhere, and there's rams here. Ice adding another town center because they're really adding the town centers not because they wanted 3 or 4, just because they know they're going to lose these town centers. And the Fire Lancers inside the rams. Yeah, this is a difficult position for Ice. I don't know if Ice is going to make a comeback here. Really well played for Ragz though. Ice is doing the right things. I think that they really just overinvested on the water. I think that was their big downfall here. But it's still, even with all this, it's still a Vill lead for Ice. It's still, you know, there's a castle here. It's going to be tough to push. The Rams can push it. Not, a couple of militia inside this castle. That's it. There's just no army for Ice. Ice has no solution for this. These villagers are getting lost in the sauce. There's still some villagers over here. Ice almost has enough for another castle. And Ice is under a lot of pressure here. Ice might lose their docks too. They're gonna lose this castle. Yeah, I think Ice still has a Vill lead, but I don't know how you recover from this. They're moving forward. Oh, and the Fire Lancers actually come out to the side here. That's really good awareness from Ragz. This is something that a lot of low-level players just never do. When you're killing your opponent's base here, but they're not quitting, sending units to the side to like where those villagers ran is the move. And yeah, the one dock went down. This dock's gonna go down. Even if that dock doesn't go down, these fishing ships are going so far away. We're getting this is like honestly the only play that Ice can make right now. Is to just move forward with whatever villagers they can, try to get a castle up on their opponent's TC. I would have liked to see them try it. It probably wouldn't have worked, but GG. So that's a game for Ragz. Let's go through some of the stats real quick. It looked to me like Ragz just very, obviously very heavy military. And Ice wanted to boom a little bit more. And then Ice going too hard on water, I think, was a big thing. 16 APM for Ragz, 6 for Ice. All right, let's get into the next game. All right, game number 2 is on Pilgrims. So Ice would have picked this map. So this is a map that he wants to play. Ice is playing as the Malay. Ragz is playing as the Romans. Ragz is adding a dock right away. So they changed Pilgrims so that you start with a monastery. Which sounds kind of cool, but the herdables, there's no hotkey for it anymore. You have to just like find them and pick them, or when you build your town center. So on this map, sometimes you'll see, town center really close to the water for Ice, which could be good, could be bad. The problem is you could get ranged by ships, like if not now, later on. And they're going for a dock on the back of their starting island here. So Romans, main bonus for them is they gather, build, repair 5% faster all their villagers. Infantry armor upgrades are doubled, so you get a nice little tanky infantry. Scorpions are cheaper, so lots of times you'll see players just go like full scorpions with the Romans. And the galley and the Dromans have extra armor. And then later on, their scorpions get more attack if they go for the castle attack. So that's why you see a lot of scorpions with Roman. Now the melee, so they have some interesting bonuses as well. Infantry armor raid upgrades are free, but the Romans will get double, so technically the Romans will be better, but they have to pay for it. Advancing to the next age is faster, so sometimes your timing can be a lot better. Fish traps are cheaper and they give you more food, so if it goes into a fish trap situation. And battle elephants are cheaper as well. So, let's see. You can also upgrade your docks to harbors, which sometimes matters, sometimes doesn't, I don't know. This map, typically, there's a lot more water fighting. Like on this map, Ice should do what they did last game. Last game, they made 6 fire ships and went and attacked. I think on the last map, that was a misread because there was no navy from their opponent. At the same time, they never really tested it. Like you're going 6 against 0, and that's pretty common on that map. So I think Ice misread that a little bit. But this map, completely different though. This map, you need to fight for water. Like it's really, really important. Like losing water on this map, I wouldn't say it's like a GG. It's not. Because you can still, have a big land army. But losing water on this map is really, really painful. There's also usually, in a 1v1, not a lot of surprises on this map. You kind of know your opponent's going to be roughly here. Usually, like Ice wanted to get up their town center pretty early, and it's paying off because they're actually up 2 villagers right now. So it's actually paying off pretty well. Or 2 eco, I guess. 4 fishing ships for Ice, 4 for Ragz, so pretty similar there. Ragz not scouting at all though with their transport ship. Ice scouted a bit. But you just want to know where your opponent's dock is. But you kind of know their TC. I like Ragz' TC spot. It's a little easier to wall off for safety. Like Ice has to win water. Because if Ice loses water, then their TC also is kind of in trouble. And they're adding a second dock. So similar start to last game. I'm thinking Ice has a plan of just kind of starting. This is my just prediction here. I don't know. I haven't watched these games. I think he has a plan of starting every game with 2 docks. Like any water map, I guess. And just going hard on water. They also have a more line of sight. It's just on the docks that have more line of sight. Docks have +6 line of sight. Yeah, so docks are look at the difference in line of sight here. This, you get this much. And over here, I mean, wow. You get that much. It's 4 times the amount. It's like going from 1080p to 4K. You know what I'm saying? And Ice is going to be up. I think getting that town center up, it might be worth it. Because they're going to be up about 30 seconds earlier. Which means they can make fire galleys 30 seconds earlier. I'm guessing that's what they're going to make. Neither team have any, galley bonuses. I think galley and Dromans have +1 melee and +1 pierce for the Romans, for Ragz. And they're on 2 docks as well. So I think we're going to see heavy water from both of these guys. Good walling from Ice, trying to get ahead of things. Now, Ice was up, but nothing in queue. Not queuing up any navy right now. And Ragz immediately queues up 4 galleys. I'm confused why Ice isn't queuing up anything. Huh. You can garrison your docks, so you have a little bit more safety. I'm really confused why Ice isn't queuing up any navy though. It looks like they're just trying to fast castle. But Ragz is going to go hard on water, so it's like the opposite of last game. But I think this is the map that you want to go hard on water. The last map you don't want to. So I'm shocked and confused on what Ice is doing here. And that's with full respect to Ice, because I know how good of a player he is. That's why I'm shocked and confused. Like this is not a play I think he would do, but let's see how he reacts to it. And I don't think this is a map that you want to lose water. He did garrison his fishing ships. And Ice is on the way up. These fishing ships are exposed, though. They could definitely go down. So last game, Ice invested heavily in water, and Ragz won. This game, Ragz is investing heavily in water. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, Ice has to kind of like micro these fishing ships. But he's going to be in Castle Age. Only issue is all of Ice's food income is coming from these fishing ships, and they're all going to go down. He's getting the medium warship upgrade, which upgrades everything. And he's going for fires. So fires should beat galleys in an even fight here. But if there's a lot of micro from Ragz, the galleys can win for sure. And I like this base layout for Ragz. It's going to be tough to get attacked. Ice as well, very good, very methodical, very smart. And Ragz is on the way up to Castle Age. And the fires are out, and the fires are upgraded. And there's more coming. Yeah, these fires are just hurting them. Long-range warships, they have a +1 attack. They also do melee armor compared to pierce armor. And yeah, these fire ships are owning right now. And at this point, Ragz needs to decide if they want to just give up water, because I think they're going to have to. So really, really clever play from Ice, getting that timing. And again, Malay, they go up to the next age faster, so getting up to Castle Age quickly makes a lot of sense. But they did lose most of their fishing. They have 7 still, so they're actually okay. And Ragz is going to lose all of their fishing, it looks like. Now, Ragz needs to probably think about land at this point. It's not worth it to invest in water anymore. So Ice, I doubted you, but you know what? You came. It was a big brain play, and I think that's actually why it works so well, because it catches you off guard. And when your opponent makes they make nothing in Feudal Age, you don't expect, oh, they're going to come at me with 8 fire galleys in Castle Age, 11 fire ships. But now, see, this I think might be an overinvestment, right? Like, you haven't seen your opponent make any new ships, so having 11 out there, I guess it guarantees you're going to win it, but it definitely seems like it could be considered an overinvestment. You could have had a TC up earlier. We have a man-at-arms upgrade for Ragz, so Ragz wants to go into infantry, it would appear. And they're making rams, and I'm guessing they're going to make infantry. And they're going to try to get something working on land here. But the water now belongs to Ice. And Ice is adding another dock. They definitely can make more, more and more fishing. And I think, like, if you win fishing here, you're in a very, very good spot. Let's put it that way. And Ice also kind of scouting everywhere, seeing if there's any more docks coming up. Ragz isn't going to make any more docks. Ragz is going to try to do something on land here. But look at the eco difference, 52 to 36. And 2 TCs for both, but the big difference is the fishing ships. And there's so much fish here. Like I said, losing water here, you have an uphill battle. Let's put it that way.
Eus.
But they're fighting a wolf. By now, both players need to convert to be playing on land, though. Ice obviously is in the better position, but they don't have any land units being made. I'm not sure what they want to make. Looks like they're going into cavalry. We have 7 man-at-arms and 3 rams, so it looks like it's going to be kind of a ram man-at-arms attack. I like the way Ragz used rams last game, and it looks like he's trying to do the same thing this game. Another barracks coming up for him. This is like the Ragz play, I think. 3 rams with some infantry inside. Last game it was fire lancers. This game is going to be man-at-arms. He'll probably upgrade that to long swords by the time he gets there, my guess. Long swords are a lot better than man-at-arms, so you definitely want that upgrade. And there's long swords coming in. All right, let's see how this attack can go. We have scouts and a monk out there. And we're going to have elephants, actually, from ice. Elephants beat everything except for kings. This is what I learned from my CCL games. I had a game yesterday. I was chasing kings around with battle elephants and even elephant archers, and I couldn't catch up to them. I just couldn't catch up. And we have a siege workshop on the way. Ragz, look at the eco 73 to 43 already. And oof, yeah, Ragz just got out of position there. Lost 2 rams. That's actually really bad. With the battle elephants out, I don't know how much damage this is gonna get done for Ragz here. I think Ice is pretty well prepared to defend this. Plus, we got some monks. Yeah, Ice is ready for that. Pikemen being teched into for Ragz. The eco difference is just too much right now, though. And you can see Ice is just like way ahead, score-wise, eco-wise, military-wise, like everything-wise. Ice moving forward with the elephants. Infantry can't do anything but run away. The pikes could, in theory, handle this, but you're gonna need more than 2. Ice pulls back a little bit. And 10 battle elephants, a lot of battle elephants. I like the monks to heal. And Ice is adding crossbow as well. And this is going to be a very, very tricky comp.
Salve. Impera.
Now, if I'm Ragz, I wouldn't try to go from that same direction. I would try to move in this direction. Ice is backing off. Ice looks like he's content to take this fight. Battle elephants are dropping, but obviously the infantry are dropping a little faster. With the archers there, I don't think Ragz is going to be able to make much progress here. Let me take the tug of war off. I know that they didn't see this, but like just going for that same position, I think was a mistake for Ragz there. Okay, that's game 2. Check out the stats real quick. Really well played by Ice. Really, really well played. Really well played on the water. Very smart. 18 APM for Ragz. Ragz is pretty quick. All right, game 3 we are on. So we have Ice playing as the Persians, Ragz playing as the Italians. Ice is in red. This is on Nomad, like standard Nomad. Ice is in red. Ragz is in blue. Is that what they were? I feel like they were switched, but I'm probably wrong. But we'll keep it that way for now. No, Ice was definitely in blue. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay. Yeah, because Ragz won game 1, Ice won game 2. Makes the sense. But game 3 here, we got ourselves a little bit of a series. So Persians, super, super tough civ. Their big bonus is they make villagers faster. So they're pretty much always going to have the eco lead. They start with extra food, extra wood. They make villagers and fishing ships 5, 10, 15, and 20% faster depending on the age. Parthian tactics available in Castle Age. And Knights +2 attack versus ranged soldiers. You kind of forget about that. Well, I do at least. And their late game is super strong. Like, they have the best cavalry in the game, late game, pretty much. Savar. I don't know if Frank Paladin are better than Savar. I don't think so. I think Savar are the best, like, knight line in the whole game. And then Italians. So, I mean, speaking of Nightline. Nightline? Wasn't that a TV show? Speaking of Italians, though, or knights, Italians have Genoese crossbow, which are they just absolutely annihilate any kind of cavalry. You have to get a castle to get them, but like they're incredible. Advancing next stage is cheaper, which is really nice actually. Whenever I play the Italians, I love that. Docks and university techs are cheaper. Gunpowder units are cheaper, and fishing ships are cheaper. There's a bit of a theme there. Their archers and condottieri get extra armor as well. So typically you see Italians going into archers. If they're going against a cav civ, you're typically going to see them going into Genoese crossbow if they have a castle up. But Italians are pretty versatile, though. They can do other things. They're not just like a one-trick pony. Like their cav line is fine. They get all the upgrades pretty much. They're missing paladin, so they're pretty good there. Do they get bloodlines actually? Yeah, they get bloodlines. They get husbandry. I mean, they get pretty good lineup there. Persians, typically you're going to see them going to cav. It's pretty rare that Persians do much else, to be honest. But I guess they could in theory. Their archer line's pretty weak. I mean, they can go into camels. But on... No, what is happening here? So, this blue villager was trotting around, I guess, and they found Ragz' blue villager. They both have loom. Ragz' villager is running away, and Ice can't catch him. So I guess Ice just noticed this dock here and just tried to kill the villager with one villager. And that's an unfortunate spot for this dock here. Like, that's going to be super inefficient. Let's take they know where each other are. Let's take the Fog of War off. Ice, we know, likes to build multiple docks. So that probably isn't going to matter. But also, these guys are landlocked. Look at this. Some generations of Nomad are like this, where it's completely, like, landlocked from, like, one side to the other. But it's just kind of unfortunate that... Or fortunate, depending how you look at it, that they're on opposite sides of this. So you'd have to sneak a dock over here, which Ice actually could do pretty easily. Ragz would have a tougher time. Well, Ragz could put one over here. Actually, Ragz could just walk over here and put a dock. So it depends on how they want to play. If you want to build military or navy out of your own dock, you'd have to go all the way around. It would take you half the game to get there. I don't know if that'd be worth it. But Ice actually walling up pretty well. Walling up on Nomad is not always easy, but they're making it look easy. Ragz does not have as easy of a route to wall up here. They'd have to like wall like this way. They have to wall across here. What are these sounds? Guanaco? Looks like a llama, but it's a guanaco. I'll say the developers really went hard on the animals lately. And they added a lot of sounds, and I feel like the sounds are also a little louder than any other sounds were. It started with the foxes, and then it went into some of the other animals. Guanaco. Like, did we really need guanacos? We had llamas. Did we really need guanacos? I guess we did. It's like a wild llama. You can hunt it. Ragz is headed up to the next age. Ice is headed up to the next age. Ice is way ahead on economy, 28 to 22. But they're probably about 6 ahead realistically, because Ragz was on the way up to feudal age about a minute earlier. Man, these animal sounds are driving me nuts. I'm just gonna say it. Blacksmith Market coming up for Ragz. Ragz definitely trying to sort of fast castle. Typical Nomad is the fast castle. You have so much food from like hunt and fishing that usually fast castling works pretty well. And Ice, I would assume, is gonna do the same. They're getting a market up. They're actually a little short on wood for the blacksmith. They're getting that up now. Yeah, Ice, please kill these guanacos, dude. I don't know if I can listen to them the rest of the game. Like, they are really something else. Yeah, neither one playing water in feudal, which I think in a 1v1, I think you should not play water in feudal, really. Like, you want to just get up to castle age. Like, maybe on the way up to castle age. But again, just by like the based on where their docks are. And it doesn't look like Ice wants to. Ice adds another dock over here. Gets his fishing a little bit more efficient. Ice is really good kind of planning things out, I've noticed. Like, it's not just a matter of like, you know, just being faster or knowing like the text or anything like that. Like, yeah, he actually seems to have a plan and kind of a little more methodical about it. Ragz is going to be up slightly earlier. The eco lead is still +8 for Ice, but Ice is going to be 2 minutes later to castle age. And Ragz is on stone. Another really popular strat on Nomad is going to be castle drops. Doesn't look like they can actually castle drop because of the walls and everything. They'd have to like knock down a house And I don't even know if they do that, if there's space even, because I don't think there's enough space here. But we're going to get a fairly aggressive castle here. Not quite enough. It almost ranges, to be honest. They're getting Bodkin, but I think even with Bodkin, it's not going to range. We'll see. I don't think it will. But Ragz can go into Genoese Crossbow. And Genoese Crossbow, honestly, are going to be really good against most things that Ice is going to make. Like Ice, if they want to go a castle, all you get from the castle is War Elephants. Like War Elephants, you don't want to go against Genoese Crossbow. Genoese Crossbow have bonus against cavalry. That's why I'm saying, like, you just don't want to go against them. Yeah, it's just not something you should do. And they're being masked up right now, the Genoese. And we're gonna have a siege workshop for defense. Yeah, I'm just not sure what Ice does exactly here. I'm really curious what like goes on in his mind here. We've also seen Ragz go pretty hard into siege, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a siege workshop. Defensive castle. I think the Genoese Crossbow are basically as good as regular crossbow, and then they get just the bonus against cavalry. They also have a bonus against ships and elephants. Well, I knew elephants and camels. I did not know that they got a bonus against ships, though. I mean, they could, in theory, come over here and kill some ships. But fishing's getting fairly inefficient, even for Ice with the second dock. They're going to have to build more docks up along the coastline if they want to keep that going. They do have a villager there still. Honestly, Ice could use this villager to build some military buildings and get to the back of Ragz' eco. Mangonel on defense. And that's an attack ground right there. So Ice is going to try to defend with Mangonels. I just think Mangonels, especially on controller, are so tough to micro and control. Like, it's not like you're playing Fortnite here. Like, it's just... they're just difficult to shoot these units. And a couple villagers are going to go down here. One's down. Two's down. 3 down. The Genoese for now are being pushed back. I just don't know what Ice is going to make. It doesn't look like they have a super good strategy. They're making skirmishers, which will be good as far as defense goes. I'd love to see this villager make like a stable over here or something, though. Like a stable with like a few scouts coming out of it on that side would be sick. Mangonel goes down. Mangonel gets a hit. Killed one of those, Kuzma, what's it? I mean, I think like the play from Ice here is probably what they're thinking is to get up to Imp. But Ragz is on the way to Imp right now. Wow, really good timing for Ragz. Ragz is here to play. Ice did make a couple fires and they're killing all the fishing ships. But at this stage of the game, I mean, Ragz doesn't have a whole lot of, like, doesn't have any farms. Has these villagers over here looking for food, I think. I don't know where these guys are. They might be going for another build a TC or something. Skirmishers are going to push him back. Another town center for Ice. I think Ice's plan is to try to get their eco good, but they're pretty far behind right now. I mean, they're ahead in eco, but like just Ragz is putting so much pressure on them, and as soon as Imp comes in and Ragz can just get one trebuchet out and start taking out this castle, this town center. Honestly, if he makes a trebuchet, attack the town center and not the castle even, because the castle can get repaired. Elite skirmisher coming out for Ice. Ice just trying to kind of do some damage control. Very similar to game 1, where Ice had the eco lead. Ice won water, but Ragz just has one town center pressuring pretty hard. Ooh, Ragz wants to trap Ice in there. He says, you ain't ever getting out this side. That's actually really smart for Ragz. I don't think I would have ever thought of doing that. Ragz is like giving a you're stuck in here with me kind of a situation. And Ice still has a little bit of this food income. They're building another dock. Man, I think Ice is missing out on just building one stable back here. Like, I know you don't want to go into cavalry, but like just make a couple of scouts, or a couple of knights actually, and just go kill as many villagers as you can. Especially like knowing what we know, that Ragz is on 1 TC. You already killed his dock, so like you're in a good position here. Genoese crossbow moving. Yeah, the other thing on Nomad is like when you are stuck like this, the way Ice is, like it gets really difficult to kind of expand. And Ragz is going for the castle. Ice has got to feel so behind right now. Even though like they have the score lead, they have the eco lead, they have the res collectively. They're up in every like tangible economic way. But when your opponent is an imp and you're trapped in a corner and you're getting trebbed down and you don't have the military to really deal with what they're throwing at you, it just doesn't feel good. It just is not a good feeling. They are making a knight. Where are they making a knight from? Where's their stable? I got excited. I thought it was over there. Oh, they made a stable back here. I think, oh man, Ice is gonna watch this back and he's gonna say, not a theist, you were right. You were right. You should coach me. That's what he's gonna say. And these Rams can take down this Treb, but it might be too late though. The Trebs already took down the castle. They're gonna work on this TC. Villagers are trying to fight these Rams. Good play from Ice to try to get these Rams out there. But I worry it might be too little, too late. And that one Treb's still up, and that TC is already down. Yeah, and Ice is stuck in a corner here. Does not have the military to deal with this. Ice really, really needs Imp. And, I mean, their eco is all over the place. They're floating 1,200 wood. The Genoese crossbow look like they're kind of afraid of the scorpions and the mangonels and the skirmishers. But to be honest, there's just not enough numbers here from Ice, though. Like the Genoese, like with a little bit of micro, they can take this all out. Ooh, that's a big hit though. Ragz doesn't have a great economy, so like losing some of their, they can't throw away units, put it that way. Like they need to keep some units alive here. And I don't know where that knight ended up going. The knight's just sitting there. I think Ice, you missed such an opportunity to do something over here, man. I hate to be the one that has to show you it. But like this villager over here could have done so much for you. That's all right. I'll coach you. Don't worry. 35 an hour. Time and a half on nights and weekends. Now Ragz is getting some kill kills. Yeah, I mean, it is a tough matchup. Persians versus Italians. Like, Persians want to go into Cav. You know, if you're stuck on defense making skirmishers as the Persians, like, probably not in a good position. Wheelbarrow coming in for Ice. I mean, that'll be something that Ragz doesn't have. Ice is putting these units into a transport ship, and they're building a... Actually, they already did it. They're building a town center over there. So give Ice a little bit of credit, no quitting him. I think a lot of players would have been in this situation and would have been like, I'm just trapped in a corner here. What am I gonna do? Let's kill my villagers. Now the only thing I gotta say for Ragz is what they're doing offensively is great, but I think they need to work on their economy a little bit. Like, just adding another town center would probably go a long way. Adding some farms. Like, where are the farms? What's going on with the farms? Like, Ragz has 9 minutes of idle TC on 1 TC. Like, Ice... I mean, Ragz is basically, like, beyond all in. And maybe that's like they needed to in order to get to Imp, and they needed to in order to get Genoese Crossbow out. And they can realistically make Genoese Crossbow and Trebs like forever, right? You know, but realistically, like having a little bit of eco behind this would go a long way. Even if it's just a matter of just adding 6 farms so you can build villagers, right? It doesn't have to be complicated. Now, Ice looks like they want to build another dock. I think a stable over here would have won the game. But again, when you're in the game, it's tough to see, like, he doesn't know how all in his opponent is. Like, his opponent is idling the TC and has 0 farms. He has 4 on food. But it doesn't matter when you have Trebs taking out town center after town center, right? And yeah, this is like very similar to game 1. The transport ship coming over. The Vills are running. This is the real pilgrims. And does Ice know how ahead in economy they still are? Yep, and another dock over here. I mean, tell me 3 scouts don't kill 10 villagers, though, you know? Although 1 scout did end up dying over here. And now Ragz, he finds the new land. What's the accuracy on crossbow? On Genoese crossbow? 100. Ah, that's why they're so good. So do they not benefit from ballistics? Like, if anyone's watching this and they know in the comments, like, let me know. Because it says base. All right, so if we go to a skirmisher, what does that say? Base accuracy 90. But I think that's like units not moving, right? I think that ballistic still works with moving targets. Just they wouldn't benefit from the accuracy upgrade for thumb ring, let's say. Ice adding another TC up here. Bodkin coming in for Ice. Ice is trying to go full skirm to go up against this. And if Ice can go full skirm and can take out the Genoese, then maybe there's a world where they can take out these Trebs too. But this is the 4th TC, 3rd TC. I think it's the 3rd TC that Ice is going to lose this game. And Ragz is on 1 TC this entire time. That's crazy. Ragz on 1 TC and is not shy about idling that TC. Ragz has 0 on food right now. Ragz took his food villagers and is building forward houses. this is the way Ragz plays is hilarious. I don't think I've ever seen so much idle TC all in, and it's like such an unnecessary all in. Like literally 6 farms, and you can still make villagers this whole time because nothing else you're making costs food. These Genoese, but maybe that's the way to play though. I mean, you don't have as many Genoese, you don't have as many Trebs. Pardon me. And that game was funny. Ice calls it. Wow. Good game from Ragz. Really good game. Let's go through just some of this tech real quick. That idle TC time, just all in from Ragz. Crazy. 18 APM. Pretty solid. All right, I'm gonna take a break right now. I'm gonna get into the next game though. Okay, this is game number 4. This is on Graupel. Graupel is, let's take the Fog of War off for a second. So you start on this middle island here, and basically you have to transport to the outside and build your town center. So Ragz is up in the red. They're playing as the Sicilians. Let's go back to the Fog of War. So this is what they can see. You have all these little ponds, these little shore fish. You can build a dock and get the deep fish. But the town centers, typically you want to be on the wood line. If you're on the gold or a pond, it's pretty good. I think you're better off on a pond than you are on the wood line, though. Like, you want to be on both, like, ideally. But there's a lot of hunt. Let's go back to the Fog of War. So there's a lot of hunt. There's bunnies. There's herdables. There's usually a few boars. Like, there's 3 boars within range of Ragz here. I should have about the same one over here. Well, that one's pretty far. I'm only seeing, like, 1 close, actually. That's kind of a problem. There's 4 in this side. 1, 2... There's 1 here, all the way, 1 way in the corner, and there's 1 over there. Yeah, so there's access to a few of them, but not that great. And actually, Ice's starting position is really rough. Not on the ponds. They're going to have to build a mill, probably on this pond over here. There's only 2 here, 2 here, whereas Ragz has a lot more. But Ice did get their town center up a few seconds earlier. That might make a difference. No idle TC from either one, which is nice. Ragz is playing as the Spanish. Spanish, one of the most OP civs in the game, in my opinion. I think just fast castle conquistadors, castle drop is just so freaking tough. The builders work 30% faster. They get extra gold for each technology they research. Blacksmith upgrades cost no gold. Gunpowder units attack faster. And the conquistadors are just absolutely insane. They also the conquistadors, the elite conquistador just got buffed. And the missionary just got buffed. The missionary can get relics now. There might have been a couple other changes recently. And then Sicilians for Ice. Sicilians are interesting because so they can build the donjons. They build the donjons faster. They build town centers faster. They start with extra stone. Their farm upgrades give them more food. I don't know if Sicilians are necessarily a particularly good Nomad civ, although I have seen them picked on Nomad fairly often. So we'll see. Farm upgrades. I don't know if farm upgrades are like necessarily the greatest thing. But let's see what Ice plans on doing with the Sicilians. Sicilians are always a weird save to me. It's like if they dungeon rush, they can get a lot of damage done. If they do anything else, I always feel like they're kind of weak. Like I don't know. I just don't feel like they have the greatest like tech tree. I guess I really don't know why. I just don't see the Sicilians as like a particularly good civilization here. But let's see. Sergeants are really tough, really difficult to deal with. And I have seen them picked on Nomad maps like fairly often. I like the little dock here to try to make it annoying for their opponent. Also, this, I'm not sure what this, I meant transport ship. I'm not sure what this transport ship's trying to do. I guess distract this villager. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. But I guess it's just a little pesky, annoying thing. I'll be able to do these with the transport ships. I don't know how much it really does, but I guess it's better than doing nothing. Like you have them, might as well use them, you know. So why not? Why not? Both of them are headed up to. Well, they're actually not headed up to anything. The Dark Age on this is kind of just like building fishing ships and getting a mill up. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. I'm just going to go 2x speed until we get to some action. I think what's going to happen is it's going to be fast castle for both of them. They're on complete opposite sides of the map. Questionable how important water is. There's not that much fish. Like, it kind of looks like there is. There's 1,700 fish. By the time you get to Castle Age, it's like most of the fish is probably gone. And adding like more docks and things like that isn't always useful. So we'll see how much they play on water. To me, Grapple is much more of a land fight than a water fight. But it is kind of depending on how hard the player wants to fight for it. So we did see Ice fight for water in most of the water maps, adding a second town center and a second dock. And we're getting a defensive donjon, which usually means they're going to get sergeants out, and the sergeants are going to go forward and build more donjons. Typically, that's what the only reason you do that. But I think a donjon does count as your building to go up. I don't know if that's right or not. We'll see. They're building a blacksmith now. I don't play as Sicilians very often. So from experience, I can't really tell you. Neither one is building any ships. Ragz is not in feudal yet, so they might build some, but I got a feeling they won't. Ice is getting fletching to maybe make archers, which is what they're doing. And oh, they sent villagers forward. Okay, all right, let's go regular speed here. So I didn't notice this. This kind of caught me by surprise. So double archer forward with fletching. This is going to be a feudal play. We're not going to see necessarily a fast castle. I guess the donjon is just to go up. Someone tell me in the comments if you're watching this. Now, Ice is fairly well walled. They're actually walled all the way to the back side, and they're walled all the way in the front. And honestly, it's kind of more luck than anything here because Ice could have gone this way instead, and this side's not walled up at all. And there's lots of villagers exposed here. So Ragz is going to have like a moment to sort of react to this, and Ragz is going Castle Age. Ice is pretty far away from Castle. They're going to have to get damage here. I mean, they don't have to, but they want to. And I stopped at 6 villagers. I mean, 6 archers. And I think Ice might realize that they might not be able to get a ton of value. Where are these other archers? There's 6 of them. There's 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. So Ice was kind of like scouting everywhere to see if they could get any value. Unfortunately, it's completely walled up on their side. They are going to move over here. There's a wood line for Ragz that Ice might be able to get a little bit of damage on. And this tower is going to protect And yeah, Ragz is definitely going the fast castle conquistador route. Which is, listen, I hate it. I think it's overpowered. I think it's a cheesy way to play the game, if I'm being honest. I just think it's overpowered. But I'm also might just be bad at dealing with it. Let's see how Ice deals with it. And Castle Age is in. Ragz is about 100 stone away. And they probably have 100 stone almost. Yeah, they're floating 60 stone on these villagers. So they're going to get a castle up. Let's see where they put it. They might want to put it like here to protect this gold. They're going to put it here, which will protect that gold. Donjon going up. That donjon's not going to get finished, I don't think. Only one villager building it. And they do build faster, so I mean, it's possible. It's at 60%. But Spanish build faster, and there's a lot more villagers here. Yeah, the castle's definitely going to go up. That donjon's just going to get wasted. It's going to get wasted. Alright, so we have castle. We're going to see some conquistadors coming out, I would imagine. And neither one fighting on water. One fire ship would probably be good at this point, just to kill the opponent's fish. But neither one invested too heavy. Only 2 fishing ships from Ice, actually. Did he have more earlier? Is that all he... I mean, that's all he built. Because he wanted to do these forward ranges. And I don't know where these archers are going. These archers are going back to Ice's base, but he's not being attacked or anything. Got a couple on stand ground over here. I think he's putting them there because he wants to deal with the conquistadors. Yeah, conquistadors are the worst. They're just the worst. I hate them. I hate them because I ain't them. But the conks are moving forward. These archers move back here. Ice is not fully walled, so this could be a problem. They need another wall here. They need another wall here. They could get up another donjon. In theory. But it looks like... I'm not sure what Ice is doing right now. And the conquistadors are actually going around getting a bunch of herdables, a bunch of cows. But the conquistadors are going to run right through here, and they can probably get to these villagers. There's 2 donjons protecting, like, the main eco. And Ice is going to try to start walling up a little bit. Bit of a panic wall. I mean, they know the conks are coming. But let's see how much damage the conks can actually get done with the donjons there. They found this villager, killed one villager. That's just why they're so tough. Like, you just get a small group. There's only 4 here. I think only 2 or 3 shot. And it's like, they just one-shot a villager. Oh, and there's a hole up here for Ice. Ice probably didn't know that. And that's another villager down. So 2 villagers dead. Ice is up to Castle Age. Really curious what Ice is going to make. Like, are they going to stick with archers? Are they going to... Skirmishers are technically the counter for conquistadors. But you need a lot of them. Mangonels, monks can do decent. Conquistadors are causing some chaos. And they killed 3 villagers. Ragz is up exactly 3 villagers. Both have a decent amount of idle TC time, actually. And just more conks just flooding in. And we're getting like a defense. So the archery ranges forward for Ice are... The problem is you need to mass up on defense, right? And Ice is pushed off the stone too, so they're stuck at 300 stone. 36 villagers. They're moving some villagers out to the side to get a side town center. And then this is what we've seen, and I think Ice might be picking up on this a little bit, that Ragz really goes like hard all in 1 TC type of stuff. These conks find that town center. That's going to be a problem for Ice. But Ragz really putting on the pressure. And they're going directly to it. That's going to be a huge find. Let's see how fast this reaction is. 1 Vil down. Town center got up though, so actually, like timing-wise, that could have been a lot worse. That definitely could have been denied if that was just like 10 seconds earlier, and that's denied. And we have skirmishers, and with the armor, with Bodkin for Ice here. So Ice is gonna try to defend this with skirmishers. I mean, Ragz is floating 600 stone. I think they're gonna go this. So this is like why I hate the Spanish, right? So they make a castle on defense. They get conquistadors out to kind of get Vil kills and control the map. Then they go forward with villagers and they drop a castle on your face. And that's exactly.
Monday.
It's like it's just the absolute best way to play the Spanish. It's one of the hardest things to stop. Like I said, I can't stop it. I don't think I've ever beaten the Spanish from a decent player. And especially on Nomad. Like it works on any map, like even on Arena. Maybe it would be a little trickier on like Arabia, like a real open map like that. But
Monday.
and the KD actually is not like terrible for Ice. Like it looks like Ice is kind of in a bad position here, but they're gonna be on 2 town centers versus 1. And honestly, a little bit of value from these leftover archers over here too for Ice. And I don't think Ragz is even noticing that. And here's the forward castle coming in. The only thing is, I don't know if he has 12 conquistadors, but they're kind of all over the map. And the castle starts going up. That castle's gonna range that town center. It's gonna almost range that gold. But does Ragz have any? Yeah, Ragz has no upgrades, no archer upgrades. And Ragz still down on villagers because of the 1 TC. I mean, Ragz could have added a second TC. Let me tell you, if Ragz decides ever to add second TCs and get their economy good behind their attacks, like they're gonna be shoot up the leaderboard, let me tell you. And Ice trying to run some Vils with a TC, but there's a couple of conks waiting for him. Vils down here as well. Oh, this is looking really bad for Ice right now. And there's just not enough skirmishers to deal with this. The villagers are just running around. Ice is trying to run these villagers. Cannot run these villagers anywhere. This town center's gonna go up, though. Ragz got a little greedy trying to kill these villagers over here instead of focusing on the ones building the TC. And now these villagers that were waiting. Honestly, pretty good micro from Ice here. Ice really controlled that situation pretty well. And Ice's skirmishers with all their upgrades are actually doing really, really well against the conks. Skirmishers are the answer to conks, but you just can't have skirmishers everywhere. And like you have TCs being garrisoned. The only thing that makes me think, and another castle drop coming. The only thing that makes me think that like Ice has a chance here, honestly, is just because of his town centers. Like, yeah, you're gonna lose this one, you're gonna lose this one, but like for now, you can keep them working. Probably need to get a castle of your own at some point. Another castle up, and it is so... This just gives me nightmares, dude. I've watched this so many times. Ice down to 38 villagers. 36, 43 for Ragz. Ragz, the only thing is this Ragz is just so committed to not adding any eco ever. And this is what I was talking about with Ice. Ice made one fire galley and killed some fish over here. Actually only has one kill, so it just needs to like find the rest of the fishing. Only has 2 fishing ships themselves. But like fishing isn't that important. Castle going up for Ice. Like on this map, you think fishing would be more important than it is, but it's just actually not that important. This castle, it protects a lot of the food, a lot of the wood, and you can get more stone over here. This gold is still pretty exposed. But if Ragz just had like one more town center making villagers, though, they could be thinking... Honestly, not even one town center making villagers, just like enough farms to keep your villager production going. Ragz is at 44 vills, Ice is at 38. And this town center is going to go down. There's some skirmishers forward here. Ice seems like they're kind of content to try to get their eco back. And the thing is, when someone builds this many castles on you, like, typically their eco is not going to be very good. We already have some knights coming out from Ragz. So knights will clear up the skirmishers pretty well. But the conquistadors kind of go kill villagers. But this gold, Ice can't take that gold. Ice is on this stone, though. And Ragz is floating a lot of stone. Ragz is going to try to put another castle up. I don't know if they know where to put the castle.
See?
So they didn't know this castle was here until just now.
Servidora?
Yeah, they wanted to get that castle there, but they can't. They just got the skirmishers there. Ice holding on pretty well. They actually are about to take the villager lead. These knights can kill these skirms, but they can't really get in close. I don't know if that ranges the town center, actually. And knight taking castle fire, I mean, that's not ideal. I think this castle might get denied, actually. Yeah. For now, at least, it's getting denied. There's just too many skirmishers. 14 skirmishers on the field. Not enough knights. 4 knights in queue. And there's 7 conchs on there. Conchs taking out some fishing ships. That's actually kind of big. I mean, fishing ships, like, at this point, don't really matter that much, but it's still kind of big. And another castle coming up for Ice here. And another town center. Dude, Ice kind of gaming here. Let's see. What's the chance that Ragz has any farms? No farms. Where's Ragz even getting food from? So they're still on the shorefish here. Like at this stage of the game, like that's fine, but I think you want to start adding farms. And this castle's gonna actually finally go up. I'm not sure if it ranges that town center though. Imperial Age coming in for Ice, and I think Ice is gonna get to Imp long before Ragz. Like Ice actually has a decent economy. Is there a way Ice wins this? I mean, at this point, I would say Ice has the advantage. Like, I think Ice is actually at the advantage here. Which is crazy at how much pressure Ragz put. Ragz just didn't have any economy behind this. They added another town center just now.
See?
But I mean, they're still taking boars, they're still taking shorefish. Like, it's not like the most effective income when your opponent is in Imp here. I'm gonna pause this at 45 minutes exactly, because I have to actually hop off for a bit. I'm gonna catch this back up. You probably won't notice as a viewer if you're watching on YouTube, but I notice. Alright, I am back. 6 hours of work later, plus another 3 hours of hanging out with my girlfriend, and I am back. So, I have to catch up here. So, Ragz has been doing all these Spanish castles on Ice, right? Ice has been holding. Ice has actually been holding very, very, very well, and has this little skirmisher defense, right? Hang on, I'm getting my headphones on. There we go. So, looking at what I'm looking at now, Ice is up 47 to 42 economy. Ragz actually has some fishing ships left, and it looks like Ice just kind of forgot about his fire galley there. Could be killing those fishing ships. Knows about them, or could know about them. Ice has been pretty much pushed out over here, but they are on 3 town centers. Somehow, amidst all of this, Ragz has added 4 town centers. 3 castles and 4 town centers, but it's just like pretty idle for the most part. It's down 5 villagers. And Ice is up to Imp. So it's actually an interesting game. More interesting than I would have thought. And I don't know. So the problem with Ragz adding all these TCs later is they actually needed to get to Imp. They actually, like, they were doing pretty well going all in, or like mostly all in. And they should have just been adding villagers like on 1 or 2 town centers instead of adding all these other town centers. And just trying to get to Imp. Sometimes adding town centers too late and trying to like get a boom going when you've already kind of lost your boom, it's just too late. And army-wise, I mean, there's knights, 2 knights and a conquistador for Ragz. And we have pikes and skirmishers. Pikes and skirmishers is all you really need against that. But Ice might not necessarily know, but they are pretty well up in the scores. They might know that they're like at a pretty good advantage here. And really, they just have to move forward and just go ahead and kill some economy for, you know, Ragz's economy. As I'm saying that, Ragz is now up in villagers. They're getting wheelbarrow, the very late wheelbarrow, as we saw in the other game. But yeah, I don't know if Ragz is going to be able to get up to Imp anytime soon. That's the real issue. And can get up slightly up in economy, but is it going to be too little too late for him? And so bizarre, because if you watched this game earlier... Hang on, what's in this town? What's in this? Oh, there's 1 skirmisher here. Like, if you watched this game earlier, like, it felt like Ice was just so far behind. And now it actually feels like they're kind of ahead. And maybe that's the solution I need to look for killing the Spanish. Like, maybe you just need to take the fog of war off. Maybe you just need to survive. And we have a 4th town center for Ice. All these town center drops is really weird. Like like Ice, you're not making any villagers out of the town centers that you have. So why exactly are we adding more? I guess it's just for the protection of them a little bit. And just like the expansion of it, but it is usually better to use the town centers you have rather than trying to expand out into other ones. This is just my take. These guys are better than me, by the way. So like anything I say is just like, you know, just coaching from the sidelines when your players are better than you. But that's, you know what? That's valid. That's pretty valid. We can all learn from everyone. And Ice is getting chemistry that's going to help their skirmishers a bit. And yeah, I just don't see Ragz getting to Imp at any point. But they are getting a bit of an eco lead. It's almost like things have reversed. It used to be Ragz on the offense and Ice on defense with the better economy, and now it's Ragz on defense with the better economy and Ice on offense. But I think Ice is gonna be able to get the eco pretty good here. And Ragz's knights died under this town center. Yeah, and Ragz is making conquistadors against that many skirms. I don't know. Depends on the micro. And mangonels as well. So mangonels are actually popping out of here. Mangonels could do pretty well against this. Like skirmishers don't really do particularly well against mangonels. But the Kongs can stop those halbs there. This actually could work. It just, can Ragz ever get to Imp, like, in a timely enough manner? Ragz is still adding villagers, staying in Castle Age. The fact that Ice has never noticed these 3 fishing ships when he has a fire galley there is really cracking me up. Like, Ragg's economy is so bad. Like, he has 16 on food. And Ice is backing off his unit. He does not want to take a fight right now. And to be honest, the mangonels are kind of a problem. Like, Ice doesn't have a great solution for mangonels other than just, you know, decent micro. But I think Ice is more or less biding time. They're adding some stables here, getting some knights out there. And knights actually, at this stage of the game, are a pretty good answer. I think we said the Sicilians' the only issue with them was they lacked Paladin, but I mean, that's fine. They get Cavalier, they get Bloodlines, like they get all like the upgrades. They just lack Paladin. And if your opponent is in Castle Age, it's fine. Ragz is floating 2,000 gold. They might want to use the market to go up to Imp. I know that they just buffed Elite Conquistadors. I don't know how. I think it's just like the attack on them, and maybe there's like a bonus or 2 that got buffed. Like, I don't know necessarily how important it is, or how much stronger it is. Like, they're already pretty strong. But with the knights on the field, I think Ice feels a little bit more confident of pushing. Ice can push into this castle. Something's got deleted here. Is it a house? I guess it was a house that got deleted by Ragz. So we have war galleys. Ice made some war galleys here. Just in case, you know? And yeah, Ragz is still up in economy. They're kind of like pushing more towards this edge. They're on stone. They actually could buy their way up to Imp, which... oh, I'm sorry. They actually clicked Imp. That's my B. They did buy their way up to Imp, it looks like. I probably don't have market events on. I turn them off all the time. Where are the market events? Market events, turn off the king events. Yeah, you see Ragz that bought their way up. Ragz are going for bloodlines now. This is pretty late bloodlines. Conquistadors benefit from bloodlines, I assume. Let's see. 55 HP, so do they go up to 75 HP? They do. Oh, wow, that's huge. Oh, I didn't realize that. Missing bloodlines that whole time for Ragz. So those conks were just, like, getting absolutely wrecked. Like, even more so than they would normally. And also cannon galleons from Ice. Pretty good move. This is pretty dominant force right now from Ice. Ragz trying to force up a castle here. I don't know if that castle's gonna go up. That castle... Castle might not go up, and these skirmishers are super, super strong right now. Plus the castle went up because he sent every single villager. Mangonel's getting picked off by the knights. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ice is going to take this game. Because Imp is coming in for Ragz, but I mean, how many minutes later? How many minutes later is Imp coming in compared to what it was for Ice? And just Conquistadors on the field. Conquistadors, I think, are just not going to cut it. Even against Knights. Knights have pretty high Pierce armor, pretty high HP. Husbandry coming in for Ice. And that castle went up and it's going right down. That's like super demoralizing when you put a castle up and then it immediately goes down. And now the Vil lead is completely swapped back into Ice's favor. Ice is handily in control of this game. And Ice, at this point, Ice knows it. Ice might have been like a little bit biding their time, playing a little patiently before. But, I mean, now they're well aware of it, and Ragz just has to run. It's a tough break for Ragz, because Ragz really was in control of this game early. Just couldn't push. Like the issue that I'm seeing with Ragz is they're just not adding economy behind their pushes early enough. They're pretty good. They added it late, but it was like, at that point, if you haven't added it, it's already too late. You're better off just keep pushing into, like, Imp and get the better units at that point. That's my only criticism for Ragz, but Ragz is quite good at holding what they're holding. Their APM is definitely super high. They're always in control of their military. And Cavalier coming in for Ragz. And it looks like Cavalier is already in. Yeah, just got in for Ice. Ice is floating 3,000 gold. I think these conks, unless these micros come back, they're gonna go down. The conks are, even though they're only, like, not even elite yet, like, they're actually doing pretty well. Ragz getting forging right now, too. So, I mean, Ragz is trying to switch into Cav. But Ragz is getting pushed into this corner at the same time. And very nice patient push for Ice. Ice not trying to do too much, not trying to get in front of their skis, you know. I wouldn't mind seeing the elite conquistadors though, just to see what the difference is. I don't think we're gonna see it this game. I just have a feeling that Ice is just gonna keep pushing them into this corner. We even have cannon galleons over here taking out all that little forward base. Dude, Ragz is gonna keep fighting. Like, this is honestly like past GG right now. I think Ragz enjoys microing these conquistadors, and who doesn't? They're so strong. It's amazing. These are castle units, and they're still like absolutely crushing these Cavalier. Howbunk. What is Howbunk and what does it do? Howbunk is the Knight line +1 melee +2 pierce. That's even stronger. It's gonna upgrade these Cavalier. Yeah, these are gonna be fully upgraded Cavalier. Wait for it. 3, 2, 1. So 2 plus 4 is 6 melee armor. And then they have 2 plus 6, 8 pierce armor. And even with 8 pierce armor, like these conks, they're still doing 8 damage per shot, which is crazy. Ragz is buying food. Ragz using their market, but they are pushed in this corner. Ice putting a little castle on this side to try to really force Ragz into this corner. The only thing is, I think Ice probably needs to check, like, just double check these back corners, make sure there's no villagers hiding anywhere. Even like over here, like they need to just kind of check around their base. They might have already. I don't know. Blast Furnace coming in. Paladin coming in. How? I don't. Paladin for Ragz. Ragz has 1 Cavalier on the field, by the way. Clicking Paladin when you have 1 Cavalier on the field is always a little crazy to me. All right, that's 2-2, guys. We're gonna get a game 5. I'm gonna go through some of the end screen here just real quick. I want to make sure we get the APMs. 20 APM for Ragz. He was, I mean, with conks, he was really microing a lot. Ice with 14, pretty solid. Let me get into the next game here. All right, here we go. Game number 5. This is Ice Ragz recast from the SoloGhost's Nomad tournament. All the marbles here, playing on Mountain Pass. Mountain Pass is a pretty interesting map, actually. You have like a lot of hilly terrain. They actually walk right past each other, so Ragz knows where Ice is. Go over the map real quick. So you have a lot of really hilly terrain. You have a lot of like pretty dense tree lines. They're actually building pretty close to each other too. And a lot of hunt on the map, a lot of berries. The tree lines, like, this is a kind of a better tree line, sort of, kind of, because, like, to start your TC, I mean, on the tree line, because you're very close to the wood line. However, there's usually a little bit less hunt around it, and there's, like, less minerals, like gold and stone and stuff. You have to go a little farther for it. Look at this little crevice here. That's crazy. So Ice chose to play as the Georgians. Georgians, speaking of hills, so Georgians get a hill bonus. I think they take less damage. Units and buildings receive 15% less damage. Mule carts will be really good on this map because of the different like areas where things are, so you can move them around and get it. And then they almost always go cav. Mounted units regenerating and cheaper building repair costs, fortified churches, you know, good stuff like that. Now, Ragz, ooh, interesting. Ragz going for the early boar lore. Boar lore. Maybe that was an accident. They shot him or something. I don't know. But.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, this is worrisome. Ragz is playing as the Goths. So Goths, they get instant loom. Did they get loom? Let's see if they actually got it. They didn't get it, even though they can get it instantly. They didn't get it yet. This mule cart is out here looking around a little bit. They get the free mule cart, Georgians? Yeah, they start with the mule cart. So the Goths, they're usually infantry spam. They have faster making infantry and cheaper infantry, right? And then they can even upgrade it to be even faster later on. So you can just like really spam them out, okay? The other thing that's really nice about this is the hunters carrying more food. So when you're going farther out, like if you have to like walk, I don't know, like out to, there's really not a lot of hunt around actually. Usually there's hunt like all on this map. Like out here, like if you had to walk out here and maybe like you build a mill and it's like not right next to it, you can just kind of get a little bit more efficiency out of it. So this is a good map for them generally. This generation is not great for Ragz though. I don't love that. I also don't love that Ragz is on the low ground, especially going up against the Georgians that they take less damage when they're on the high ground. So like Ice definitely wants to be on the high ground. What are these sounds? Is that a boar? The new animal sounds from like the last couple patches is just they're crazy. Like they just went too far. There's just things yelling and screaming. Back to the game. Focus. So this is all the marbles here. On this map, I think I like the Georgians better. Goths, I could see them doing like a crazy spam on this map, like kind of late game. But I think the higher elevation bonus actually will come into play. Just everything's gonna be harder to attack. And Ice is pretty good micro-wise, like controls his army pretty well. So I think he's gonna know like where to put them, where to put the units in the buildings and all that on the high ground. And also the mule cart I think is pretty huge. I think he's using it to scout mostly right now. Let's see. Not sure where the mule cart is. I guess I could... Oh, you actually can't click on a mule cart. I guess it's not considered like a unit. Like in Capture Age. I've seen Ice do this a few times where he de-aggroes this. People say it's easier than it looks. I've tried it. It's not easy. It's not easier than it looks to me, but that's just me. I'm trying to find this freaking mule cart. I can't find it. Is it up here? No. Is it over here? No. Is it over here? No. Where did the mule cart go? Oh, it's over here. Okay. All right. All right. We found the mule cart. But yeah, you can see you're gonna get a lot of vision. This is what Ice sees right here, so you can really see like half the map. Knows where this TC is. Ragz is doing a really good job of scouting with the sheep, I guess. The goose. What's good for the goose? But both playing pretty well here. Ragz did end up getting Loom. I like Ice's base layout, though. The only thing that could come in trouble for them is going to be gold. But they could... I mean, they could wall this up over here. They have the mule carts. So they can always kind of go to a different spot. Let's see if Ice does the de-aggro thing. I don't think he's going to need to over here. I prefer to just get Loom and just hope for the best. But res collected, you think Ragz would have the advantage with the villagers on all the hunt?
Yeah.
But I mean, they're both just taking hunt underneath their town center, so probably at this point doesn't make that big of a difference. But if they do end up, I mean, yeah, a little bit over here, like that, like, even though it's, you know, they're only walking like, you know, 2 tiles or 1 tile, it still makes a slight difference here. I'm curious if they're gonna go for this boar. I'm curious if these villagers go for this boar, because they're gonna run out of that sweet deer meat pretty soon. 20 deer meat out there. Another boar over here too, and actually more deer. So Ragz is going up, maybe a little bit earlier. I'm really curious. Come on, Vils. Do something for me. Oh no, they're going to the berries. No. They're going for the boar, but actually... Yeah, they're okay. Okay, so Ice is going up a little bit later, went up at 22 villagers. Ragz went up at 20 villagers. Both doing pretty well in terms of idle time. And this is a pretty long set. Like, these guys have been playing, you know, 4 games in a row. This is the 5th game. I played one of these sets as well, and like when game 5 came around, it was... You're feeling it, you know what I mean? You're feeling it. And this, I mean, this gold being at the bottom. So just you know, as a recap, every single save, like, doesn't matter, will do more damage, you know, shooting down, and less damage, you know, shooting up or hitting down, hitting up. But some civs, the Tatars and the Georgians have a little bonus. Tatars have a better bonus. We have a tower, 2 towers going up. Okay, 1 tower going up. That one was deleted. I'm not sure how I feel about this tower. It's gonna hurt this wood line here. It probably could have been a little bit closer, but probably didn't want to be seen. Although, with how much, like, the big this wood line is, probably would have been better not, you know, it would have mattered, I guess. And blacksmith and an archery range going up for Ice. So Ice is gonna go for archers. And yeah, this particular tower, I don't think I love it. It just doesn't really deny that much, especially with the mule carts. Like, this one mule cart could just move to this side, and you have a lumber camp and a mining camp together. Like, it's pretty sweet. And another tower over here. I don't know if I... This is very aggressive from Ragz. I'm not sure if I love this. But after doing that first tower, I do like the second tower, though. Because you need to cover this tower, right? Like... I mean, not cover it, but like you need to... Like, if you can prevent them getting stone right here easily, like, do it. So you're taking away the stone, you're taking away the easy, you know, easy short wood line. A third tower... might be a bit much. I did a lot of tower rushes in my day. I was trying to make a whole tower rush series, doing it with every civ. And mostly I learned, for me, like what works and what doesn't work. And towering around the TC does not work. You want to tower around resources. You want to tower on wood lines. You want to tower on gold. Stone, not really. Like a tower over here would have been good, but there's already a counter tower, a preemptive counter tower from Ice coming up. So let's see. I think it's only like step one of the plan for Ragz. So I think Ragz has something else in mind for us. They're on a lot of stone, though. They're on a lot of stone. They actually are trying to buy their way up to Castle Age. They have the buildings. And from the previous sets, we know how Ragz plays. We know Ragz is going to go aggressive. And they're on the way up to Castle. Ice is already on the way up to Castle. I'm surprised by the archery range, though, from Ice. I'm just... I guess they want to go, like, Cav Archers. Cav Archers could be pretty good. I don't play on or against the Georgians a ton, but it's usually... Usually you don't see Cav Archers. Usually you see, like, Knights. Yeah, so why is the archery range up? Why is the archery range up if you're not going to use it? I don't get that. They just changed their mind? I need to start doing these games with, like, the players. And just ask them. But then I don't want spoilers, though. Like, I don't want to know who wins. I don't want, you know, you guys viewing to know who wins. I do want to do a series with Vulcan Loop, kind of interviewing him about different tactics and how he got so dang good. But I think it's going to have to wait a little bit, though. Got a lot of other stuff, and so does he. Ice going for the second TC, so Ice is going to go for more of the eco. But they do have a couple of knights out there. Fortified Church, which for the Georgians helps with like villager production speed, something like that. What does it do? I should know these things. Villagers work 10% faster when they're around it. And Ice was trying to get some damage, not able to. Yeah. Ragz has enough for a castle, and they're putting it back here, very defensively. And probably seeing those knights on the field kind of spooked him a little bit. But yeah, I think knights is a good call for Ice, though. And the castle's up, so the Goths, they can make Huskarls, which are very good against, like anything with like Pierce. Like, it's good against, you know, town centers, it's good against archers, it's good against Cav Archers. Not great against knights. So the fact that knights are being masked up makes you kind of wonder. So they have 6 Pierce armor, but 0 regular armor. So they might, like melee armor, I guess. Double stables from Ice. I definitely like Ice's approach. Again, archery range kind of was weird, but other than that, I like Ice's approach. And I think Ragz wants to be a little bit too one-dimensional here. That's what worries me for him. He's just going castle, unique unit, and he's making some spears, which is a good unit to mix in there against the knights. We have some monks out there, too. What's the monks gonna do? These monks could actually defend this. Actually, another tower over here would be pretty good. I think this tower at least got a little bit of value for Ragz. This tower, not so much. But I did keep Ice off the stone here. So if Ice wanted to go to that stone, it would have been a problem. But Ice has moved to the back, added a siege workshop, making scorpions out of it. 2 siege workshops, going double scorpions. Georgians don't have any particular scorpion bonus that I'm aware of. And we're getting a second TC up, but there's a knight there. Let's get some villager kills here. So 2 vills going down over here from this knight, and the knight gets away. The knight actually just runs away. So pretty good awareness from Ice. Yeah, and Ice is way up in vills too. Ice is at 43 vills, Ragz is at 29. Obviously 2 TCs compared to 1. The second one just got up, but Ragz also has been idling their TC. Has no farms out there. But the Huskarls are running in. And the fortified church and the tower are not really going to deter the Huskarls. The Huskarls are just going to run right under that. No fear. The Scorpions will do pretty well against the Huskarls. Scorpions do pierce damage though, so... We're actually gonna need a few more Huskarls, I think, if they want to do some more damage. And Ragz still has 6 on stone. Ice has 7 on stone. So both of them might be thinking about a castle. And with these Scorpions, I'd really like to see Ballistics come in. Ballistics would make a huge difference on those Scorpions. Another town center going up for Ragz. So Ragz is going to be on 3. But, like, Ragz is on 2 town centers now, but they're only building 1 villager. Like, Ragz's big issue is just not keeping up their villager production. And that's their weakness. That's their point of improvement that they can have. Got some weird fake Twitch bots in the chat. Sorry about that. I did not announce this stream or anything. I'm just doing it because I want to make videos. So I figured might as well do it live. We'll do it live. Ice is in a very good position here. Ice being very patient. And the Huskarls inside of battering rams. This is like the Ragz move, man. This is something that he's done in 3 out of the 5 games. Just put Huskarls in battering rams, or put infantry in battery rams and moving forward. He did it earlier with the Fire Lancers. Got the dub with that. He did it later on with longswords. I don't think he got the dub on that one. I think that one was not a dub. And we have a forward castle from Ice. Ice coming forward. And that's a pretty aggressive castle. And Ragz might... They're moving forward. Ice is going to see that with the knights. Ice is moving forward with the Scorpions. There's still a hole over here. Villagers are gonna get this castle up though, while Ragz is distracted. And going for the fortified church. Fortified church doesn't have that much HP or pierce armor. It's not like a castle. But I think it's gonna stay up here though. I think that was a slight miscalculation from Ragz to go for that, and I think Ice at the same time was very aware. But Ragz at the same time is actually denying this castle. The castle is at 85%. Ragz needs to like wall this in though, because at 85% that castle 100% goes up. And Ragz idling all 3 of their TCs, not making any Huskarls here. Like they're focused on something else. I don't know what. Ragz is running their villagers. They're not queuing any villagers though. Now didn't wall this in. They didn't queue any villagers. They're still not queuing villagers. They're not queuing villagers. They're not queuing Huskarls. They're at the market, they're buying, they're selling. They're trying to deny this castle, but they should have just walled it in though. They could have just walled it in. They had the villagers all around it. That castle's definitely gonna go up now. And Ragz is, they look like they're just kind of worn out from the previous sets, honestly. Those were some tough games. Ice over here with way too many villagers trying to take a tiny little pile there. This castle's almost complete. And that castle completes. Ice has has the military, has the villagers. Ragz queued up 2 villagers and stopped. Only has 6 food right now because they sold all their food to try to, I don't know what they were doing. Somehow added 4 town centers. I don't mean to be critical, but if you're not producing out of 1 town center, what do you think you're going to do out of 4 town centers? And that's it, GG. Honestly, not the best Game 5 I've ever seen, but great work, Ragz. You brought it. Games 1 through 4. Game 5 got out of hand. You still made a good attempt. Ice, you stayed locked in the entire time. Great freaking games. Real quick, look at some of the Statarinos here. And I'm curious on the APM. Only 9. Eco APM was actually pretty high for both of them because they were kind of doing a lot there. GG, I'm going to end this stream. I'm going to put this video up right now or like get the edit going. And then I think I'm going to get back on stream if anyone's here and watching. I'll let you know in a few. See ya.